cash flow?
That's a good question, Rav. The point I guess I'm trying to make is on resale homes. I would probably steer to a duplex.
That's
kind
right.
of thing.
So that's what I was getting at. So really, you're talking about two rents for one furnace.
Two incomes.
So that's what you're saying. Because if you're going to put a lot of money in a new home, you're going to have to design it that you're only going to have one rent. But if you can get a duplex or a triplex, then you're going to be able to get the cash
for
flow.
the same money. That's
for
right.
the same money.
And an important point to make is that if that place sits empty, you got to pay the total mortgage payment on your own.
Gotcha.
If you've got a duplex, at least you're covered for half, and in many cases, you're at least getting the mortgage covered.
Okay, so Danny lives in Thornhill. He's watching this show. We know that there's a great opportunity in Orillia, but he doesn't want to manage it.
Right.
What's the solution?
Well, I have a management team in place. There are obviously property managers. If he doesn't want to work in a joint venture situation, he can certainly do it on his own. Just simply has to hire a manager. Go up there, interview. Again, it's work. This is not going to be an easy thing where you just go and see you later.
No, but I think that's a great point because people don't understand that they could buy a property in Orillia, they could buy a property in Woodstock, they could buy a property in Belleville.
That's right.
And you don't have to be there. You pay $100 a month or so. You interview a great property management company. They take care of these things for you.
That's right. And I would certainly, I can certainly help out in terms of what to ask a property manager. There's different calculations to look at in terms of cash flow. Again, it's extremely important to not think that if your rents just cover your mortgage, that you're making money. That is so far from the truth. I mean, I learned my lesson back in 1989 where I said, oh my gosh, I can get $1,200 for a home and the mortgage payment is $1,200. Wow, I'm making money. That is totally not the situation we're dealing with here. So again, talking with people who could advise you. Again, I go to the fat doctor, skinny doctor approach. If you want to lose weight, go see a skinny doctor. Don't go see a fat doctor.
Sure.
If you want to invest in real estate, talk to someone who's done it. And there's many people out there. Yourself, I'm certainly open to talking to people about the pitfalls because I've been there.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, disclosing everything. Danny, appreciate your call. We're going to go to the next one, but please stay in touch with us and maybe give Mark a call in the morning if you have any further questions.
Thanks.
Okay. Let's go to Yasir from Woodbridge. Hello, Yasir.
Hi, how you doing, Rob?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good, good. What's happening in Woodbridge?
I wanted to know that me and my partner are actually looking into starting to invest in real estate.
Okay.
And like you were talking, Mark was talking about getting education in real estate. Is what I'm really doing right now. I'm still a university student at this time. We see ourselves maybe buying at least for the start, about 3 to 4 houses a year.
Okay.
But in terms of, I was wanting to ask is it really difficult, as people say it is, to own houses? I mean, in terms of managing them and this and that. Like, how difficult is it, or is it the way you approach it?
I've had, Mark, I didn't share this with you, but in the last, few years, I've had 5 investment properties.
Excellent.
Okay, but the thing is you have absolutely got to get stressed out on the front end. And I say that to somebody who's even selling their house. I say that. Why would you ever have a price change? I shouldn't say that. That's not fair. Sometimes, there may need to be. But get stressed out before you put your house on the market, so that you can relax while people are looking at it and it sells. In the same way, with an investment property, do your due diligence before you get involved, right? It's so, in a sense, from little old Rav, yeah, it's hard work, it needs smart work, but it can be a lot of fun if you do the right things. You do the due diligence. And when you hear in the headlines, squatters' rights, tenants didn't pay, it's no longer the Landlord Act, it's now the Tenant Act. That stuff's not necessarily true, so long as you do the due diligence, get the right tenants, do all your stuff.
Well,
am I right? Am I wrong?
You're bang on, and you see, you mentioned some good points. You mentioned a very ambitious project, 3 to 4 properties a year. I would certainly say treat this exactly like a business. So what do small business people do? They write a business plan. They say, what are my goals? Where do I want to be 5 years from now? And you've obviously started thinking already, okay, I want to buy 3 or 4 properties a year. What's it going to take? Do you have the money personally? Do you need partners? What kind of financing do you need? What's your credit rating? So in terms of, those are the very first steps. We're talking about even going into studying areas and learning about infrastructure, ripple effect, different what we call
demographics, all that kind of stuff.
Housing affordability index is a huge one to start studying on, Yasir. So before 3 to 4 properties personally is a very ambitious and a great way to start. But I would certainly look at finding a mentor or finding someone to say, is that realistic? You know, I have $10,000. Can I buy 3 or 4 properties a year? Let's sit down and talk. Let's put together a team, and again, it's a business plan. It's setting goals. You know, I have my own goals website called the 6stepstosuccess.com, and in there I make it very clear that it's the best thing to do is to say, why do you want 3 or 4 properties a year? What good? Is it because you want to drive a Mercedes? Why do you want to drive a Mercedes? Because your neighbor has one, or because you believe it to be a good car? So you got to ask yourself.
So what's the website? Spelled out S-I-X?
S-I-X. 6 Steps to Success. And on there, you'll find templates and goal-setting programs, right from physical, spiritual, mental, and of course, financial and career. And all the joint venture partners I work with, I certainly endorse that. I say, here, take a look at this. Give that back to me before we even do anything. I'd say, where do you want to be from now?
Sure.
Because how can I make an assessment and really, truly help someone?
Sure.
Because, you know, again, going to a doctor, the first, I want to lose weight. Well, I guess you got to stop eating chocolate. No, he's going to take your heart rate. He's going to he's going to analyze you. He's going to ask you a bunch of questions before you make an investment.
Sure.
So in many ways, that's exactly what we do. We almost take you over here first before we tackle that. And we do an analysis of your personal financial portfolio is really where we start.
Sure.
So I hope that helped you, Sir.
Does that help you, sir?
Definitely. But the thing is, where we're looking at is that basically I'm still young. I'm the youngest one out of 3 brothers, and I just want to improve my family's financial situation. As my older brothers, they're graduated now, but now it's coming down to me that I still got to work and go to school, and the pressure there that I can't focus on my studies fully.
Sure.
But I want to actually help my parents out, since, you know, it's my duty to now, to get into this and try to make the most of it. And as you said, this is a passion for me. Ever since I got into it, heard about it on TV, I started reading about it, paid a lot of money to get educated on actual investing rather than speculating.
You know, yes, sir. Let's just go to a break for a second, and then as we close up here with Mark, we can come back to you. Okay?
Okay. No
Thanks.
problem.
When Into with Real Estate continues, our final thoughts with Yasir and my buddy Mark. Stay tuned.